Yo, what's happening? It's Kipp. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, we're going to be talking about commitment and mindset, right? So when I committed to my fitness journey back in 2014 while I was incarcerated, I didn't know how to work out. I didn't have a clue where to start. But I knew the basics: push-ups, pull-ups, dips, squats. I couldn't even do one pull-up, right? 2014, I arrived to Memphis, Tennessee. There was nothing but gangs. It was like 14 gangs on the yard, right? They controlled the weight pile. I wanted to work out so bad. I attempted to get down with the workout crew. They didn't allow me to work out with them. They didn't take me serious because I was fresh off the bus, and they knew that I had a mindset to just start, do a little bit, and not push myself, right? So over time, people observed me, that I was staying consistent by myself 5 days a week, 9:30 a.m. I was committed. 5 days a week, 9:30 a.m., I showed up. No excuses. I made time. Yeah, of course, I was in prison. I had nothing but time, right? But when you put your health as a priority, you're going to make it happen. No excuse. You're going to act like it's a job. It's a 9 to 5. You're committed. You got to show up, and you got to do your job description. Put in the work. So I ended up committing to a workout crew, right? It was a guy. He had 2 life sentences plus 10 years, right? His name was Kenny G. And he was like, "What's up, youngster? I heard you want to work out my workout crew, but I take my workout serious. If you quit one time, you can't come back. If you quit on 1 rep, 2 reps, you cannot come back. If you don't show up 5 days a week and you miss, you can't come back." So that was a commitment that I committed to, right? All of these guys have been working out 5, 10 years plus, right? One of the guys, he was the same age as me. He had been working out with them for 5 years. He looked at me, he's like, "Bro, just don't quit. If you quit on 1 rep, he's serious. You're not going to be able to come back. He's going to straight up tell you you cannot come back." But I wanted to work out so bad, right? I couldn't do 1 pull-up. So I remember one day, I'm walking the track. I'm doing push-ups. I'm doing dips, bench dips. I'm doing squats. And there was this guy. This is before I committed to working out with the workout crew. There was this guy from South Carolina. He called me out on my weaknesses, right? So commitment, mindset, right? This guy called me out on my weakness, and he was like, "Hey, youngster, I never see you grab that pull-up bar. You in your 20s, you can't do a pull-up?" He called me out. I went over there. He was like, "Come here. I'm going to spot you. You got to start off with 1, right?" My mindset was telling myself that I cannot do 1. I don't got the strength to do it, right? So I end up doing 1. He spotted me. He helped me. That 1 turned into 2. That 2 turned into 3. I changed my mindset, and I convinced myself that I can do whatever exercise that I put my mind to do, right? I have to conquer the exercise, not let it conquer me. So good thing that I started doing the pull-ups with that one guy, right? And he started spotting me before I committed to doing the workout, because 9 times out of 10, I would have quit it, right? So I end up doing the pull-ups, but I did what I can do. And over time, after like 4 to 6 months, I became real strong, right? However, I wasn't incorporating cardio. And I lived in a unit. I lived in a dorm, and there was like 150 people in that dorm. And it was like 10 people that in their 20s. The rest of them was OGs, right? But some of them still worked out, and we were all competitive against each other, right? We pushed each other to the next level. All of us knew that we were committed to a workout crew, right? However, we all acknowledged each other's weakness. There was this Serenio, right? And I was stronger. I ended up becoming stronger than everybody in their 20s in my unit. And there was this Serenio. He called me out. He was like, "K.I." That was my nickname in prison. "K.I., you good on the weights. You stronger than me on the weights, but you can't do burpees. I'll out burpee you, right?" So I accept the challenge. I acknowledge that that's my weakness, right? The only way you can become the best version of you, you have to acknowledge your weaknesses, and you have to attack your weaknesses, right? Sometimes it takes a friend or a significant other to call you fat, then you go to the gym. Or it takes a breakup, then you go to a gym, right? I worked at a health and fitness club, right? And there was a lot of people in their 20s coming to me asking me to train because they got detrimental news from the doctor. If the doctor tells you you're obese, right? That you borderline diabetic, right? You're going to go look for a trainer, or you're going to go try to work out on your own. Why, if your friends tell you you're obese, you're getting fat, you need to change your lifestyle, you get offended, right? We need to change that narrative, right? If a friend is telling you to start working out, encouraging you, that's not bullying, man. They're telling you about your weaknesses because you much rather change your lifestyle before something detrimental happens to you that you could have prevented, right? So back to the initial story. He called me out on my weakness, and I acknowledged that was my weakness. I accept the challenge. So we did burpees for an hour straight. And anybody that been to prison, right? The Hispanics love doing burpees nonstop, right? So we going just like this. He's standing in front of me, and I'm standing in front of him. Boom, down, up, back and forth, down, up. He talking shit to me, right? Down, up, boom. I hated burpees. But my mindset to conquer whatever weakness that I had, I was determined. So I accept this challenge. We went for an hour straight. Boom, 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 boom. He was trying to control the tempo, right? I was going, kept going. Everybody's watching in the unit. And like the homies that was from Florida, and they kind of made it like a racial thing too, because the blacks was watching and the Hispanics was watching. They was like, KI, you better not lose. I had a whole bunch of people rooting for me, right? And I'm like, okay, I got people challenging me on the sidelines as well. That's pushing me. They're watching, you know. As a man, especially being in prison, you don't want to be weak. And as a man, not being in prison, you shouldn't want to be content being weak, right? You want to push yourself every aspect of your life. That's the only way you can become the best version of you, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. So we steady going back and forth. He talking shit. Boom. So now, when I go for a whole hour straight, he respected me. And guess what? I had the upper hand because I was still stronger than him. And I always called him out. I challenged him. And I invited him to work out with me. But guess what? Me and him ended up becoming tight because it wasn't a competition to break each other down. It was a competition to build each other up, right? If you don't have friends around you that's trying to help you become the best version of you, that's trying to fuel you, push you, encourage you, man, listen, you need to analyze your friends, do an inventory check, and cut some of them off, man. If you don't got one friend that's healthy, living a healthy lifestyle, and that energy isn't rubbing off on you to become like that friend, get new friends. You need friends that's going to push you, that's going to challenge you. That's one thing about prison. I don't encourage anybody to go to prison, right? I'm not boasting and bragging about prison. My lessons from prison, right? There was unity together, right? Working out. You had guys working out. You had guys studying. But you also had guys that's wasting their time watching TV, stuffing their face. Didn't care about their health. Didn't care about becoming the best version of themselves, right? That's people that's not in prison. That's the same way. Caught up in a 9 to 5. Going to work. Neglecting their health. And making the excuse, I don't have time. You can always create time. You created time to commit to a 9 to 5, right? If you can create time to commit to 9 to 5, and 9 times out of 10, you're neglecting your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health, and your spiritual health, just for a paycheck, right? So after that job drains you mentally, physically, and emotionally, right? Your health is bad. Now, you got to go to the drawing board. How can I get myself in a better condition, mentally and physically? Work out, gym, eat healthy, right? A lot of people have an excuse, oh, I can't eat healthy because of my schedule. Listen, you got to sit down, fold a piece of paper in half, and create a healthy schedule. Identify all your bad habits and drop those bad habits. For example, when I was in prison, right, I used to order Doritos, Velveeta cheese, 12-pack of sodas, honey buns, candy. I used to make this Bombay, right? It was full of sugar. I was about to become a diabetic if I'd have kept doing it. And I used to love it. I was addicted to sugar and I was addicted to carbs. But one day, a guy that's shredded, I used to watch him how he worked out and I used to imitate him, do the same thing. He seen me on the bench doing sit-ups And he came to me one day. He was like, youngster, you think you're going to get abs like that? And you eating this? He walked up to me while I had a big nacho bowl in my hand, right? And I'm like, yeah. He was like, you cannot out-exercise a bad diet. You're never going to get abs until you clean up your diet. At the time, I already gave up on getting abs. I went ahead and tattooed my stomach. So I had the mindset that I can't achieve my goal. I can't achieve my dream body, right? But then my mindset changed, and I committed to eating healthy. Once my mindset changed and I committed to eating healthy, I ended up getting abs. And I regretted tattooing my abs. So it was like commitment, mindset, and then to bridge the gap, consistency. You have to have a consistent, healthy routine in order to reach your goal. Most of all, you have to develop self-discipline in order to change your lifestyle to reach your goal and maintain your goal. It's a lot of people that commit, right? January 1st, they last 3 months. Vast majority of them last 2 months. They may lose 5 pounds, they may lose 10 pounds, but they go right back to the old ways. It does not make sense to get results and then fail. Go right back to your old lifestyle. You have to commit, stay consistent, change your mindset, develop good habits, and that's how you change your lifestyle. Let's get it.